Welcome everyone, another episode of Dummies on the Hardwood. All right, team. I got Isaac in the middle, Big Escopade. I got Bobby out here. I'm Benny. We are here, three dummies talking hoops. Man, we're gonna have an interesting week, fellas. We're gonna be talking about the playoffs. The playoffs are right around the corner. But before we even dive into the topic, we got to give a big shout out to our fans. Thank you for the support. Thank you for continued love. Continue to show the love. Spread the love. Any of your friends, family, whoever's interested in us, please introduce them to the Dummies on the Hardwood. Now, go ahead. Now we're back to our regular scheduled topic. All right, playoff starting team. We got the play-in this week. Isaac, what you got? Who's in the play-in?
So for the Western Conference, we have the 9th-seeded Sacramento Kings and the 10th-seeded Dallas Mavericks. And then we have the 7th-seeded Golden State Warriors and the 8th-seeded Memphis Grizzlies. What a fall from grace.
Ooh, wow. Okay,
That's for the West.
Yeah.
Then for the East, we got the Chicago Bulls at number 9 and the Miami Heat at number 10. And then for the other playing game, we got the 7th-seeded Orlando Magic and the 8th-seeded Atlanta Hawks.
Woo! All right.
All I can say is the West is a bit more stacked.
All right, but anyway, we'll start off with focus on the West. Let us focus on the West, and we go to the East. All right, read me 9 through 9 and 10 again.
Sacramento Kings versus the Dallas Mavericks.
All right, so Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. Gentlemen, who do you have winning that series?
I want to say the Mavericks. Not by much, though.
Yeah,
the Kings are facing injury problems, unfortunately, too. Malik Monk's been out.
Yeah, that's the Mavs are depleted. The Kings have a little bit more of a roster. I'm gonna have to take the Sacramento Kings being the Dallas Mavericks.
Are you gonna take?
I'm taking the Sacramento. I got Sacramento being the winning that matchup.
So you got
because
Sacramento
you gotta think about
matchup.
it. Think about it. Who other than Anthony Davis do the Mavericks have?
Who do the Kings have that play defense?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
that's gonna be.
But I mean,
series.
if you're the Sacramento Kings, all you know is you got to key up on Anthony Davis. On the Sacramento Kings, you still have DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. They're prolific
you mean
scorers.
DeMar DeFrozen?
The bottom line is just that the Mavs are a depleted team. The Kings have a little bit more of an advantage just because they have more offense. And now am I saying they're a good defensive team? Hell fucking no. They suck on defense. But all I'm saying is the Kings have the edge just because they're more healthier.
All right, so that was short and sweet about 9 and 10. Benny, you have any thoughts about
it? If I had to take a matchup, yeah, I agree. Sacramento's probably the most likely team that's going to beat Dallas. I mean, outside of that, because Domas owns AD, just
Wait
keep
a
it
minute.
real.
Outside, I'm like, I feel like
just
there's a
keep it real.
team that was supposed to be in the top 5, like you guys said. I think they're
Bro, we're not
back
talking
in Arizona.
about Phoenix Suns no more. We're not talking about the Suns no more. Bro,
This guy is so keyed up. So keyed up on the Phoenix Suns.
Right. What happened to the top 5 finish?
Isaac, tell us how you really feel about the Suns.
That's right.
Tell us how you really feel.
You can't really force.
Tell us how you really feel.
You can't force a roster like that with just all offense, can you?
How you really feel.
Preach it, Isaac.
Preach it.
You a Mavs hater. You a Suns hater, dude.
I don't hate the Suns. It's just how they're built. Okay. Anyways,
I got the Mavs, man. Look, I got not the Mavs. I got the Kings winning it. And look, the only thing I'm going with this one with the Kings winning it. All right, we're not talking about the Suns, man.
He just doesn't like the Suns. All right, he doesn't like the Suns.
He low key hate the Suns. But look, I like the Sacramento winning it. Sacramento's going to win that game. That's 9-10, right?
Yeah. So let's move into the 7th, 8th spots. We got the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies.
That's a good one.
I got Golden State.
That's a good one.
If
I'm taking Golden State. I'm going to take Golden State.
I'm going to say the Grizzlies only because I selfishly want the Warriors to take down the Thunder in the first round.
Really?
I can see the Warriors matching up.
If the Memphis does win, don't they get the 7th spot?
They get the 7th spot.
Okay, I like that idea. But then the Warriors would get the 8th spot then at that point, right?
They would have to beat the 9th seeded team, which
I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors. With how they're loaded right now, and they have Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, in a 1-game series against John Moran, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors.
I know you did not
Any
mention
day of the
Desmond Bane in the vein of a top 3.
It says the
Desmond
Suns
who?
since we got the
Suns
Suns hater over there.
Desmond who?
I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors winning this matchup. I really think that they can make some noise because if they win, they're going to be the 7th spot and they're going to play
Against
Houston. And what happens?
Let's be honest. No one. I don't believe in Houston. Do you believe in Houston?
I don't
Do you
believe in Houston.
Yeah, I have faith in Houston, bro. Come on.
You better stop that
man.
bullshit. You better stop that bullshit.
Hold on.
Stop that bullshit. Stop that bullshit.
Time out.
Bro, why
Stop it.
y'all-
What do you mean?
Why
Give
y'all,
us,
bro?
give us
Bro,
a reason.
I'm not
Stop
sitting,
it.
am I sitting here saying that they gonna make some noise? I'm sitting here saying they gonna win a series. They a 2nd-round exit.
So you
They
think
second exit.
they're going to beat the Warriors
If in a hypothetical
in a
world,
7-game series? You think they're going to beat the
Against
Warriors?
playoff
Absolutely.
Jimmy.
That's bullshit.
I think
That's
they can do
absolute
it.
bullshit.
I think the Rockets can do it.
No.
What do you mean?
How?
I like
Break it down.
I love what Houston has with their young core going on, right? They got Şengün, they got the floor spacer, they got Baby Jokic, they got Fred VanVleet. He's got that playoff experience. Right? Let's not forget about Fred VanVleet, man.
No one's forgetting about
you forget
Fred.
about you forgot. No. Let me finish. I don't want to hear it. Let me finish. Right? We got that. They got that young core. So they got Jalen Green, Fred
Oh,
VanVleet.
hell no. I know you
keyed
didn't
up.
mention Jalen Green.
Albert Şengün.
So keyed up. Come on, man.
Bro,
Come
dude,
on,
like,
man.
guys, like, this Houston team, don't sleep on them. Really, don't sleep on them.
I'm Golden State. I meant to take a train.
Just
Oh, wait.
haters.
No, I didn't.
I'm not hating.
Haters.
All I'm saying,
They're too
they're
inexperienced.
just inexperienced. You're telling me that you got Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler against a young Rockets team in a 7-game series. You're gonna take Houston? Come on, man. I know you know better than that.
You know who's going to lock up Şengün, too? Draymond Green, who is D player
Hey,
of the
man,
year.
it's gonna be that's gonna be an interesting matchup. Look, I'm just saying, like, I have faith in Houston. I have faith. Do I think they're gonna probably win it? I mean, you give them a 75-25 chance, man. I'm giving 75-25 chance. You know,
All right, you
I
gotta-
think Golden State
okay.
will make it a series.
All right, I'm
Make it
you
a
know,
series.
I'm gonna move on from that. All right. So
That's in a hypothetical.
So, okay, in a perfect world, let's say the Warriors end up getting the 7th seed. Who gets the 8th seed between the Grizzlies and the Kings?
The Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
I think.
The easy.
But
That's
that's
easy,
not even a
man.
matchup
That's
for the
easy.
Thunder. Like,
Bro,
probably.
that's a joke. That's a joke of a matchup.
That's why I want Golden State. I want Golden State in the 8th seed.
you want them to lose?
I want them to lose, get the 8th seed, and face OKC Thunder. That way, they can actually face someone who is actually on their level.
If they
and
lose,
prove it.
man, if they lose, that's
Interesting.
gonna be interesting.
Playoff basketball
Interesting.
is completely different. Yes, SGA is going to do all this hoopla and whatnot. But can the other role players step up? No.
And
I
let's-
would
and
definitely
let's not
take
forget-
Golden State's roster over OKC
And
in
let's
the
not
playoffs.
forget.
That's fair.
Let's not forget with going back to Houston. You know, this is the other point I wanted to make. Ime Udoka, his first year in Boston, he struggled in the first half of the season. What happened? He turned it right back up at the end of the second half of the season. He carried them to the finals. This team has no finals experience.
Is that your case for the Houston Rockets?
Yeah, because they're under good leadership.
Okay.
That's why I think that
Okay.
they're in good hands. I think they can,
There's
I
a
think they can win the series.
There's a difference between Boston and Houston. Houston doesn't have a superstar. Boston did. They have 2.
They don't have a superstar.
All right, so we're gonna pivot back from the Houston talk, and we're gonna go back to that 1-8
Hold on.
matchup.
Hold on right there. Why'd you give me that look? Who's a superstar in Houston right now?
I'm just asking, like, they don't have a superstar?
Who is the superstar in Houston?
Who?
I'm going Şengün, bro. Stop it.
He's
Stop sleeping on him, bro.
He's an all-star, not a superstar.
He's not a superstar.
All right,
man.
all right.
Next
Hey,
thing you know, you're going to say
all-star.
Jalen
All right,
Green
okay.
is.
He's
All
an
right.
all-star. He can be a superstar
We're not
in the
saying-
future.
we're
in
not
the future,
saying-
he can be a superstar.
Okay. Keep
Right
the
now, he's an
same energy.
all-star.
Keep the same
Oh,
energy.
he's hurt.
Keep the
My
same
God,
energy.
he's hurt.
He's
Same
hurt.
energy.
He's hurt. Okay,
all right. All right, let's go.
Same energy.
Let's
All
go.
right,
All right,
so-
so 1-8. We're gonna take the Grizzlies as the 8th seed. So that first round matchup against OKC, we're all in agreement. It's gonna be OKC gonna
Yeah,
take that series.
OKC in
Easy.
5.
Absolutely.
Yeah, easy.
5.
Easy.
Okay. If
6
it's,
is generous.
If it's Houston and Golden State, I want to say Golden State in 6.
I'm gonna take Golden State in about 6.
I'm taking Houston 7.
Oh my god.
All right,
Look,
whatever.
man, like I said, I think it could be a series.
Before we
All
go
right,
crazy,
we gotta go through the
All
other
right.
matchups.
the Lakers against the Timberwolves.
I love that
I
matchup.
feel you guys got the worst draw for that trade.
What
for
makes you say that?
Playoff. What is one thing they're lacking, Benny? What is one thing
They
they're
don't have
lacking?
a big.
They have, and what does Minnesota have? Big.
They got bigs.
Bodies everywhere.
Watch it. Would,
Big
I'd be
bodies
laughing if
everywhere.
Julius Randle just popped off in the series. I'd be laughing so hard.
And Julius Randle, he's good, but like against who's gonna guard him? Who's gonna guard him?
yeah. Yeah.
I'm asking seriously. I'm not trying to be
No, I
sarcastic
get you.
with
I get you. I get
Oh,
you.
I
Who's
mean,
gonna
yeah.
guard him?
Realistically, it would have to be Jared Vanderbilt or Dorian Finney-Smith.
But what about who's gonna guard Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, who's going to guard him?
It's gonna have to be Austin Reeves if they're gonna start.
He's going to get cooked.
Good.
He's going to get cooked.
It's gonna have to be. But
I mean, who's gonna pull down a rebound on the Lakers?
other than Jackson
look,
Hayes,
Hold up. Well, look, if we're just looking at it from a whole man, Minnesota and the Lakers, Minnesota being 6, Lakers to be 3rd, right? Lakers are
Yes.
3rd seed. Dude, I still take the Lakers. Come on now, man.
That's what
against Minnesota.
That's
Come
what I'm
on,
saying.
man.
Like, look, the reason why I'm going to take I think this matchup is going to be a great matchup is that if you look at the Minnesota T-Wolves roster, who other than Anthony Edwards is a man in the playoffs? Julius Randle's not a man in the
Miles
playoffs.
Reed.
I don't want to hear that talk.
Hey,
I don't
well,
wanna hear
yeah,
that
he
talk.
helped them last year.
helped them
All right,
last
whatever.
year.
All right.
Helped them in Denver.
Damn.
Okay, whatever.
I'm not.
Rudy Go. I get you. I get what you're saying.
The-
But the point is just that in my opinion, the Lakers have home court advantage, and they have, in my opinion, one of the most talented rosters in the playoffs. But I do agree that the lack of size that the Lakers have is going to hinder them in that series.
And there's another X factor no one's talking about. LeBron got hurt again. His injuries are becoming more consistent.
Hey, he ain't young no more.
If that happens in the playoffs, can you guys survive? Can you guys survive?
in Luka we
realistically?
trust. In Luka we trust.
Oh, now you're gonna take my saying, huh?
In
Last
Luka
year I
we
would say
trust.
that, huh?
In Luka we
Oh,
trust.
now
he
you want to
got
say
Luka
that?
He
we
got
trust.
booty tickled, bro.
Look,
There's
man.
nothing against Luka, but Luka and
Luka
Austin
and
Reed.
AR,
Who else?
yeah.
Who else is gonna score?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I just think that the Lakers just have the upper hand, and it all boils down to home court advantage.
Yeah, it's standing home court advantage, man.
7-game series. Lakers are one of the best teams at home in the NBA this
Here's
season.
the
They're going to
thing.
dominate. I'm not worried.
Here's the.
I'm not worried.
Okay, I wouldn't yet say dominate.
I'm
but,
not worried.
The thing is, you guys have one of the oldest roster too.
Look, I look at it like this, man. Look, I still think the Lakers are gonna pull it off, but it's not gonna be an easy series. It's gonna be in 6. I say Lakers in 6.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make a bold prediction. The Wolves are gonna steal one in Los Angeles.
I think they steal two.
I don't think they steal 2. I think they steal 1.
Yeah, I can see going maybe 6, maybe
the
5.
The thing is, like I've always said earlier, if the Lakers just played harder, they got the hair out their ass at times, and then I think they would take them in 5. But 6 games, man, it's gonna be a 6-game series.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna-
interesting.
I'm gonna say the Timberwolves in 7. It's not that I don't believe in you guys. It's just there's too many question marks.
I get it.
And then, actually, you know what? Timberwolves in 7. Maybe if Gobert decides to show up or something.
That's what I'm saying. I'm all right. I'm going to take the Lakers in 6.
Yeah.
I'll take the Lakers in 6.
All right, and then we have the last matchup for the West: the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles
That's
Clippers.
another good one right there.
Goodie. That's a goodie.
Ooh.
I personally, this is no
tough.
disrespect to Joker, I got the Clippers in.
I got the Clippers in
5.
6. Whoa, 5?
Clippers in 5.
Man, that's bold, bro.
Here's the thing, man. They've been falling off a cliff. They fired their head coach. They don't know what the hell they're doing at this point. They're implementing a whole new offensive scheme and a defensive scheme.
That's fair.
And the Clippers have been playing together the whole year. I mean,
Well,
yes, I know
Here.
it's Joker and Jamal Murray, but there's
How about this? Let me put this perspective with you guys. Okay, remember how you guys got on me earlier when I said if Houston played Golden State, I took Houston, right? And you guys said the Warriors have the experience. So I'm gonna use this argument right back at you guys.
Feel
The
free.
Nuggets got the experience over the Clippers. Do I trust James Harden in the playoffs? Answer the question.
Nope.
no.
Do I trust Kawhi Leonard's health?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so outside those two, who do they got?
Mr. Norman Powell.
I was about to say that. Ben Simmons.
Keep on going.
Chris Dunn.
And
But
Bogdanovich, no diss, no, and it's no diss to their role players, but I think because of the experience and what the Nuggets have to offer, I think they're going to take a series. I think they're going to take the
And
series.
I counter your point with who's the head coach of the Nuggets?
David, what was it? David Adelman.
How much success does he have in the postseason?
Hey, well, he
How much
was
success does he
on
have in the
that
postseason?
winning team.
How
bro.
much success
on
does he
that
have
winning team, bro.
leading a team in the postseason?
Yeah.
Bro, we don't
How
know.
much?
It's an unknown.
How much?
It's an unknown.
0.
That's an
Thank
unknown.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Clippers. I just think with the way the Nuggets are right now, after losing their head coach, just right before the playoffs
Who does
began.
that?
Yeah, why the fuck would you do that? Like, it makes absolutely zero sense. Now you throw off the team
There's
chemistry.
something going on. Something's going on.
So there's something going on in Denver. But the bottom line is just, in my opinion, I'm going to take the Clippers in about 7. This is going to be a 7-game series. I'm going to take the Clippers.
I take Nuggets in 6. I'm taking Nuggets
I'm
in
doing
6.
Clippers in 5.
I wouldn't say 5 games, man. Okay, that's a little bold, but I say Nuggets in 6.
Zubac is the most underrated big in the league.
I agree.
Jokic
I
gonna
agree.
eat. Jokic
I
gonna
agree.
eat. That's all I'm gonna say is
Sure
Jokic
about
gonna
that.
eat.
I agree.
All right.
Let's shift out east.
All right, so
This should be quick
who
and
do we
easy.
think will be the 7th and 8th seed?
7th seed, Orlando Magic. 8th seed, Chicago Bulls.
7th seed Orlando Magic.
Nah, I take that back. 8th seed, Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I can see the Hawks. It's Bulls and Heat, right?
Yeah.
I take the Bulls. I can't trust the Heat no more.
I'm gonna take
I take the
the
Bulls.
Magic to stay at the 7th seed, and I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
agree.
take the Hawks. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna take the Hawks at the 8th
Yeah,
seed.
I'm gonna take. Yeah,
I mean,
mean,
this is pretty straightforward.
If
you know,
Cleveland plays up to their standard, it'll be a sweep.
against
so-
Chicago.
No, against Atlanta.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
If-
that's gonna be an interesting
If
series.
Boston plays up to their standard, it should be a sweep too. But I have a question. Why is Jaylen Brown getting knee injections? Why?
Because he's got knee issues, bro. He's got a knee injury.
But this has been since March. Why just not sit him and rehab the injury?
Ask him.
That doesn't make
That's
sense.
all I gotta say is ask
that's-
him.
See, and that's because I just saw that Jaylen Brown he missed today's game, I believe.
Yeah, he
So-
practically rested these last few games.
I mean,
So it's like,
if you're defending champions and you have a deep roster like you guys believe you have, why not
I don't
shut
wanna
down
hear it.
Jaylen Brown for that necessary time? Because any second, any game played with knee injections, you don't know how much worse it's getting. It can only work for so long, and that jeopardizes a lot of what you guys do offensively and defensively.
I'm not worried. I personally am not worried.
yeah, I mean, it's concerning for what's going
It's
to
concerning, but I'm not
happen
worried.
in Boston.
I'm not worried.
You know, do I think Boston will still make work of the Magic? It'll probably go a 6-7 game series.
Wait,
but I think going forward in the playoffs, the health of Jaylen Brown is going to be the
It's gonna
question.
be the question mark.
That'll
yeah.
be the biggest question mark because you guys, if you guys are truly the deepest team, you guys gotta cut everyone's throat, end series quick because the longer a series goes, there's a
Yeah, I
higher
agree,
chance that
absolutely, I agree.
Jaylen Brown can get injured.
So and we're all in agreement in the first round of the playoffs. We got for the 8th seed, we're going to take the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
the
7th
Hawks
seed, we're
8th.
going to take the Orlando Magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if and realistically, Boston, you know, if you like I said, playoffs is all about the matchups, right? You want this matchup. I'd rather take my chances against the Orlando Magic because they started off hot and they fizzled out.
Injuries,
And the injuries, inconsistencies, and they're a young team. So that's why I'm not worried about the Magic. The Hawks, they've got a little bit of that more experience. They got, you know, Trae Young. They got Dyson Daniels playing defense and all that stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not worried about who we play at 7, but at the end of the day, whoever we have, we're going to make quick work of them. 5-6 game series.
Yeah, I'm gonna take in the first round Cavs, Hawks. I'm gonna take the Cavs in 5.
Celtics,
Celtics,
Magic.
and Celtics in Magic. I'm gonna take the Celtics in 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a series.
I
It's
think the
gonna be a
Magic
series.
gonna make that a series. Who the 3-6 seed? We got
The New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. Upset alert! Upset alert!
I'm calling upset.
Pistons will win this series
at
in
Pistons.
5.
Pistons in 6.
Pistons in 7.
Pistons in 5.
Pistons in 6.
Let's be honest. The Knicks, They're not scary at all.
Hey, but hold on. I know I'm jumping the gun here, but if New York loses this series, hypothetically, to Detroit, Tom Thibodeau's out.
Didn't he just sign an extension?
He's doesn't fucking matter.
At this point in the NBA, I mean, it's like the twilight zone right now. So, anything could happen. We've seen some strange things.
Maybe he could head over to Phoenix because apparently Mike Boonhouse is going to get fired too.
But yeah, going back to this series, I'm going to take the Pistons in 6. Like you mentioned, you alluded to, Isaac, the New York Knicks. I don't trust them. They're probably one of the most they're that superstar. They're that talented team who come to when it comes down to it, playing against the elite teams in the league, they don't show up.
Nope,
they don't show up.
Besides, who's your second round matchup? Oh, Celtics and Magic.
That wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, if say the Knicks won, I really wouldn't fucking care. Good, go for it. Let New York win the series. I take my chance against New York more than Detroit.
I mean,
you don't fuck around with Detroit.
Here's the thing: do we trust Karl Anthony Towns in the playoffs?
Nope. That's like James Harden. Nope.
Do we? Let's be honest. Last year's Knicks team was much better than this year's Knicks team.
I don't know why they didn't decide to resign Hardenstein.
Yeah. They couldn't afford it.
Oh, whatever, dude. Yeah, that's it. That's whatever.
I mean,
you'll make it work. That's all I gotta say.
Would it be really an upset if everyone's picking Detroit? I think Detroit's playing with house money. Detroit fans are gonna show up for Detroit basketball. And Karl Anthony Towns.
Detroit basketball. Dude,
wow. That feels weird to say.
I actually want to watch that series. That's low-key the series. Out of all the series we have talked to outside of the Nuggets and the Clippers, I'm going to pay attention to that series.
That Knicks and that Pistons.
The Pacers and the Bucks, well, whatever, dude. 4 or 5, it's
hold on.
We'll get
to that. So, how many... You said Pistons in 7?
Pistons
I'm
7.
taking Pistons 5.
I'm Pistons in 6.
Pistons in 5 is a little too ambitious,
Pistons
bro.
in 6. I'm taking Pistons in 6.
Have you seen the inconsistencies of the New York Knicks? Can you blame me?
I'm well aware of it.
Can you blame me?
I mean, I don't blame you,
Kate
but
Cunningham will destroy Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, I mean,
Jalen Duren will eat Karl Anthony Towns alive.
Nah, okay, well, I think that's a little debatable.
Yeah,
You're not taking Pistons.
Defensively.
I'm taking Pistons in 6 because basically the New York Knicks, in the playoffs, yeah, they have Jalen Brunson, yeah, they have Karl Anthony Towns, but let's be real, who's going to show up in the playoffs? Jalen Brunson. Karl Anthony Towns is not going to be there. So it's just literally Jalen Brunson versus a Detroit Pistons team who is not one of those pushovers, but they're one of those scrappier, tough teams that you don't want to see in the playoffs.
That means the players and everybody in New York has to step up to the plate. Everybody's got to step up to the plate.
OG, you got to stay healthy.
OG's got to stay healthy. Mikal Bridges has got to be consistent.
No, God. Don't talk about Mikal Bridges,
yeah,
please.
He fucked up. He switched his shot. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh Hart, he's going to be there. But, look, all I'm saying is health is going to be the question mark because we all know Tibbs is going to run them into the ground. So, we'll see. But I still take Pistons 7.
Pistons 6. All right, so we're going 4-5. We got the Pacers and the Bucks.
Not worried.
Not worried at all.
That series is probably going to be boring to me.
Yeah, that matchup goes back to what, last year's semifinals?
Yeah, conference finals.
Conference finals last year. No, semifinals.
Semi-conference finals. Sorry.
This was the first round matchup last year, right?
No.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
This was the first round matchup last year, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Pacers and Bucks.
I got the Pacers in 6.
No Damian Lillard, just Giannis. Yeah, I'm going to take the Pacers in 6.
I mean, look.
Even if he comes back, you can't risk Damian Lillard's life for a playoff series.
I still trust. Look, like I said, I still trust the Bucks. I still trust the Bucks.
Do you really trust the Bucks?
Hold on, I'm gonna get to my point. I still trust the Bucks, but I think the Pacers are gonna pull it out.
That's what I'm saying. The Bucks are depleted. Like other than Giannis, who else is on there?
Pat Connaughton,
Kyle Kuzma. I mean, no diss.
I forgot about Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma, Brooke Lopez. I mean, no Damian Lillard.
I totally forgot about Kyle Kuzma.
This goes back. This goes back to last season where the Pacers faced the Bucks and Damian Lillard didn't play. I believe, right? It was last year.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. Now they don't have him again. I'm going to take the Pacers in 6 because I think with Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, along
Pascal
with Aaron
Siakam.
Nesmith and Pascal Siakam.
Hey, I mean, like they got hot in the playoffs last year, and they made a deep run. No one thought they were going to be in the conference finals.
Injuries played a role, but like we'll see if it was a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see, give or take.
Yeah, this series, I'm going to be honest, it's a boring series. This series just doesn't appeal to me. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to go with. I still take the Bucks.
I'll take Pacers in 6.
I take Bucks in 7.
All right, so let's just recap before we end the episode. You got the Nuggets in. Well, we're gonna go back out west. You got the Nuggets in what?
Nuggets in 7.
I got the Clippers in 5.
I believe I said Clippers in
6. Then the Lakers. I have the Timberwolves in 7.
I got the Lakers in 6.
Same.
And then for the first round of matchup, if it's Golden State versus OKC, I got Golden State in 7. Second round matchup, whoever it is, probably not Houston.
Yeah.
So that's for the West. We picked the Thunder. We were just split even. East, we all agree the Boston Celtics and Cavaliers will win their first round matchups.
Yeah.
We agree the Pacers will win the first round matchup.
No.
And what?
I said the Bucks. I called the Bucks one.
Benny called the Bucks.
Benny called the Bucks.
But we all agreed that
the
in the 3 and
Pistons-
6 the Pistons are going to take.
Pistons are going to win. But what do you guys think? Will there be an upset by Detroit? Is there another upset that you guys are thinking about that we're possibly looking over? What do you guys think?
Yeah. That's like I said. These playoffs are gonna be interesting. Now, I just can't wait for the play-in to start, and we'll see what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Until then, you just keep your eyes peeled because there's some stranger things that are happening in the NBA.
Who knows? Maybe another head coach will be fired before the plane.
Yeah. Anyway, is that all you guys have? Any closing thoughts?
This will be an interesting first round, and then it'll be it'll set the tone for possibly the second round.
I think the play-in in the West is the one thing that I'm looking at more than the ones in the East.
Yeah, the East is not worried. Look, all I'm saying is like we'll have a better idea about all the matchups at the end of this week. We'll all know, and then that's when we can be like, okay, now we have better judgments. We're all in agreement with that.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, continue to subscribe. Dummies on the Hardwood. Like, subscribe, follow us. TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. We appreciate. Show the love. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your evening and good night.
Peace.